Hi, Dub here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series. And today we'll be checking out the work of Soya over here on X or Twitter, or at Classic S. Now it's been a while, I think, since we've done like this style. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's like the top tier sort of anime illustration level where you have a very fine kind of line drawing. And then behind it, you have this not super, but it's a highly rendered, very clean. You can still see some brush strokes here and there, but it's very finely done. So it's been a while since we've covered this kind of art, and I think I found this artist via YouTube. I think it was this specific piece. It's featured in a maybe some of you know this channel. It's MHM something. It's like a music channel where you have some nice artwork in the background. It has some like nice animations, and then they feature different kinds of music. I do recommend the channel MHM something. I think it's run by a Russian chick. So there you go. So she did link this piece in the video. So yeah, when you zoom in, they tend to just stick to the basics. Round brush, even the way they ink. Wait, let me just drink some coffee. I have some Copico. 3-in-1 Blanca. Ugh. One of the best. I mean, right here you can even see the freaking round brush being used. And they like using the round brush with opacity. They like having control having control of the pen pressure. Jesus, my bad. Excuse me. Oh, she has a nice mole. Kawaii. I think there's a proper term for it, like a love mark or something. I'm not sure what the. Sorry, I had to mute my mic for a second there, but because I'm not sure what's in my throat. Okay. Yeah. But even if you take away the rendering, which is already pretty good or really good, even the way this hand looks, like the way it's like angled, it's like very pretty, very angular, but it's not like super sharp. Like you will see it complemented with like curves, right? I mean, look at how sharp this is, and then it goes to around and then sharp again and then around and then, you know what I mean? Like when you have this, I'm not sure what the proper terminology is, but it's the contrast of like rounded lines plus angular lines. Oh, sorry, angular plus rounded. When you have like a good balance of both, I think you can get some very interesting shapes, or it's gonna affect your overall silhouette. And yeah, so their line work, I think they're still using a round brush for that. And look at how imperfect that is. Like it's not totally like super tight. And you will notice this a lot, even though if you zoom afar, like it doesn't even seem human. When you zoom in, you will really see like the human touch that's being displayed. You know, like you can tell it's an artist, right? They just have a way of like organizing the process. It's a very sort of straightforward process. Like rough sketch and then line work. I think they do spend some time really making sure the lines are, you know, where they're supposed to be, and they're somewhat, you know, clean to an extent. And then a bulk of their time is just spent rendering, right? But when they do render, they're not overcomplicating the process. Like they're not using a bunch of brushes. It's usually just a basic round brush, maybe some additional brushes for some special effects, but the bulk of it is just this, right? They're just sculpting all of these. For example, this part of the hair where it's being hit by light. Look at how they're erasing or painting over their previous strokes so they can create this like hard line, like over here, right? So I would recommend maybe the work of Duck Kong. Let me just I'm back. Sorry. I would recommend the work of Duck Kong. DD UCK Kong. Although I do think they changed like the name of their channel to Korean, like to the Korean alphabet. So yeah, and I think they have a similar process. Thankfully, obviously, you can see their process in video form, so it's much more fun to see. But I think it's pretty much the same, right? And the anatomy isn't always. Sometimes it can appear flat, but you can compensate and make it look 3D by just doubling down on the rendering. So even if your anatomy is kind of focused too much on the 2D like shapey side, you can add more volume and make it less flat by just rendering the thing and adding a bunch of values, right? Okay, I think I'm spending too much time in this one image. So let me just find other stuff here. Yeah, I think I opened this trick. I want to see some more. Nice. Oh, I think we have another artist named Mitsuki something. I think that's their like username tag, Mitsuki. I did an art review of their work. Okay, I'm seeing something. If you zoom in on like the shadows here, I am seeing some greens, some purples maybe here, and some blues. I'm not sure if they're painting that in, but it's so subtle that you can't even see it. Like you will even see it in the lighter parts. So I'm not sure if it's some kind of filter. It reminds me of another artist. I think she has a big profile here on Twitter or X, but she also has a YouTube channel. It's not as big, but she does do some live streams here and there. But I think it's Come Whale. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure if her name is actually Whale Come. Like, I think it's a joke verse, like Whale Come. I mean, she's saying welcome, but I forgot her name. But she does this joke a lot, and I think her I don't even know what her profile picture is, but this person, I saw her add like this filter that has a bunch of hues. It just adds a bit of like this effect that makes the illustration look less flat. It's sort of I mean, you can add some noise texture or a noise filter, or you can sharpen things. I mean, these are other filters you can do in the end, but there's this thing, I'm not sure what it's called, but it adds some subtle hues pretty much to the whole piece. Far away it's hard to see, but I think if you removed those hues, it's gonna look a little too digital, like unfinished in a way. So yeah, you're just gonna have to zoom in. That's the point. Again with the mole, very demure. I mean, look at the nose; it's hardly even there, right? And the mouth is kind of really small. But yeah, take away again the rendering. Look at how flat everything kind of looks. Like the face, the neck. I mean, look at the neck. It's like just these two things, right? But you add the rendering to that, or you complement that with the rendering, it just looks perfect. Now the thing about this style is you have to kind of draw the hair a lot. Like even the strands, like this thing takes a bit of time. Right? And they're not shying away from the line work over here. Even the way they do the folds, for example, the bending of like this area in the elbow, like it kind of makes, like you don't have to be super accurate, but it has to make somewhat sense, Oh, she's kind of heavy on the top. I mean, okay, kind of hot. Even the folds of this like skirt, kind of hard to do for me. I don't know. Oh, I do see a little bit of a, what do you call this? The Terminator line, or I think this saturated part over here is supposed to represent the subsurface scattering effect. Basically, it's where the lighting goes under the surface of the skin. That's kind of my understanding. So that's why it becomes really like bright or saturated. Okay, if you look at this part over here, this leg, it looks flat, but again, zoom in, there's something in there. Like you will see some like rainbow hues, but it's so minimal that you can't really see it from afar. Anyway, what about her? Go I? Okay, in this case, wait, let me see the other one again. This one doesn't have a bold line outside, but this one does. Do you notice the black outline for the whole figure, right? Although for the interiors of the skin, or everything within that big bold line, it's mostly rendering, and if there are lines, it's very, it even has some opacity and it's not as thick. Excuse me. Okay, nice bunny tail over here. Very squishy. You can even see that bold line in the hair. Very cool. And it's very common in these types of illustrations where the inside of the hair, the one that's facing the character themselves, or is it the inside? Yeah, basically the thing within the ball of hair, it's usually lighter than the hair in the back. I'm not sure if it's supposed to represent like some kind of lighting effect. Maybe there is some reflected lighting that goes or that comes from the outside and then bounces into the inside. I'm not sure if that's why it's lighter, but or if that's the reason. But I think it also helps just separate the outside from the inside, because if everything is just black, it's kind of hard to like you want a difference in values to be able to, you know, see the shapes. Like if you don't have any like distinguishable shapes, it's kind of hard to see what you're actually looking at. Yeah, the skin, not many like hard edges. Maybe for this cast shadow over here on the shoulders, even here on top of the upper chest, but armpit, everything here seems very, very smooth. And I think I know why they're very minimal with the line work inside, because if you have this sort of soft rendering and you combine that with line work, I don't think it looks as good. You know? Or maybe that's just me. Let me just move it. There you go. You see it? Anyway. Yeah, I do like the texture. Well, not texture, but the how you can tell that this bit of like the bunny ears and their actual like top costume. Well, it's on the top. It's like a one piece kind of thing. It has like this latex sort of vibe or texture to it. But they did that instead of like using a photo texture or something. You just paint and play with the values to achieve this kind of look. No, with latex textures, I think you have a lot more contrast, meaning you have parts where it's just almost pure black, and then you have like the super white part basically representing like the highlights, and you have a bunch of like everything in between sort of scattered around the surface area of the thing, right? I'm not sure if they're, yeah, even the legs, they look a little more soft and squishy. Very nice. I'm I'm not sure where this is from. Very cute. So they're both, well, this one, the light blue girl is hugging the dark blue cardigan wearing girl, and then that, or this specific chick, is hugging a shark sort of pillow. Very cute, very kawaii. But look at how they're not, again, do you see the brush strokes? You know, the very textured, gritty brush strokes? No? It's a very sort of finely done rendering. I wouldn't call this a painting. Although it is technically painting, but I think that's kind of my own like definition or how I distinguish paintings from renderings. If we're not using line work, I think it's most people would, I think, call it a painting. But if you're drawing it and you have like this fine line, kind of line art to begin with, and then you paint underneath that, I think that's mostly considered like a rendering. It's still the same thing for the most part, but yeah, pretty cool. Okay. I like the folds. They're very good. The fingers, very nice. And yeah, it's just I think the two things that would take the most time is really figuring out the drawing and then the rendering, because it's hard to go back and forth. Like, let's say I want to change something in the line art. If you have to keep going back to the line art to change things as you're rendering some parts, I think it's just gonna prolong the process. So you want to make sure you get the line art pretty much correct or good enough, right? So you do need to invest a lot of time before you can really enjoy, I think, the rendering process. And I like how it feels like real. Like, yeah, it's stylized, it's anime, but the puffiness, like this, I think they're wearing cardigans or something, and like the squishiness of the pillow, it just seems so real. Kawaii. Look at this. I think she's brushing her teeth. She's getting ready for, I don't know, school. I think this is one of those, I forgot the anime name, or I think it's based off of a game where they have, yeah, these like angel halo thingies in their head and they like shoot guns. Azure Lane, is that it? I'm thinking Azure something Lane. But the bullets are like not even lethal, the bullets. They're some kind of, I don't know. It reminds me of another anime which I do like. Girls in Panzer. Like, it's basically a bunch of schoolgirls fighting other schoolgirls, but they're fighting with tanks. But no one dies though. It's such a funny well, it's not just funny, it's cool, but it's an interesting, oh, I like that hand, that hand. It's a very interesting concept and it's just fun to watch. Like, even the strategies they have, it's just like you're kind of invested, like you want to know who wins. Okay, now when you zoom in, I think more of the painterly side of the artist comes out, because that's where you can really see, like, because from afar it's hard to see the brush strokes, but when you zoom in, you're like, oh, like you can see the sculpting that actually happens, right? For example, even this knee, it doesn't have a wide range of values. It's basically split. If you look from afar, it's basically two sides, one light side and one dark side, right over here. This is the dark side, but even within that light side and dark side, there's like subtle shifts in values, which I think really helps it give it that, you know, realism, right? And I think realism is really, or one of the cornerstones of achieving realism, I think, in art, is sort of dominating the subtle shifts in hues and values. And I think that can really do a lot, even if you have like a stylized concept like this anime sort of person. If you just render it a certain way, it's gonna look a little more realistic. I mean, even the position of the hand, like, look at how it's so like kawaii. It's so aesthetic, right? And the line work is kind of it's still there, but look at how thin those lines are, right? And I like how when they draw the eyes, you can still kind of see it, or parts of it anyway, or the darker sides of it, or parts of it, through the hair. Although I do notice for stuff like this, you have to have quite a bit of layers just to manage this kind of a large illustration. So in a way, this kind of thing is like it feels like a project to me. If you did this kind of illustration or this level of work, where you have like a bunch of layers and stuff like that, because it is a lot. Like the hair, it has to be separated. Like this, even this necktie has to be. I'm guessing it's on its own layer as well. I mean, even the shirt itself. Look at how many folds there are. Even the jacket on top of the top. Right, you're working on the interiors of the jacket, which is like this blue, this nice sort of water blue thingy, and then the outsides where you have this like black stripe thing on the outside. Oh, I like the buckles, the buckles. Yeah, on this part of the leg, it's kind of hard to see the lines, because maybe it's that thin or something. Who knows? Yeah, I like it. It's so, even this part of the leg, right? Look at how it's fade out a bit. What I do notice is I don't think they're using like a mixer brush or a blending brush or a blending tool or a smudge tool. I think they're just, when they want to blend things, they just use fuck. I hit my microphone. They're using the pen pressure from their brush, from the round brush, and then they kind of lighten the value to something else. All right, so it's a very sort of straightforward way of blending, where you go at it kind of in this way, where you can lighten the strokes via your pen pressure. And I think it's a faster way to do it instead of always switching to like a mixer brush tool or some kind of blending tool. It's just a lot more convenient. And it's a very common technique, especially for these types of illustrations. And again, I'm mentioning the other guy, Duck Kong. Although for the Mitsuki person, I think they do use some mixer brushes quite a bit. So right? Wait, let's see some more images. A demon chick. And I like how it's very contrasting. For example, if you look at the skin and you compare that to the clothing and hair, right? Just focus on the face, the hands, the body, the legs. It's almost it's very smooth, very clean, but it's contrasted with the detail in the clothing and in the hair and even the eyes. Sometimes people will invest a lot of time like rendering the eyes in a certain kind of way that's super like detailed. It almost looks like a mini galaxy or a universe. You know, so I think it's a good sort of a contrast to have. Even this bag is so freaking detailed. Pretty cool. I like how they're achieving this bits of maybe they're using color dodge for these parts, where it's in the shadow parts where it's a bit more reddish, more saturated. I think it just adds a bit of life, right? It's a bit more soft too. It has like a soft touch to it, like it's actually being touched by light. And that light area or that line between the light and shadow, it's not too harsh or not too sharp. There's a bit of a softness there, and I think that's a little more realistic. Having a little bit of a blurred edge in those areas, I think it adds to the realism. It's so nice. But even like this face, like this hair in front of it, it's so like finely done. I've seen some like time lapses or videos, real time too, of these types of illustrations, and they take like a couple of hours, like maybe even 8, 10, like at minimum 6. But damn, it's impressive. It's impressive. This one I think has a little bit of a texture to it added in the end, like a paper texture, if not a noise texture. Get away. Look at that. Oh, even the fold here of the like fat, or is it muscle? I think it's fat. When the legs are kind of folded, like it's this little bit of like detail that adds to the realism, right? I like how it gets a little bit blue here. It's almost like a watercolor wash to me. Yeah, I think the texture, I don't think it's noise texture. I think it's something else. It's some kind of paper texture. Or maybe in Clip Studio Paint, there's a texture called Perlin. I think it's also called noise, but Perlin something noise. P something noise. Maybe they're using that. I think it has more of a paper texture than a typical like noise texture that you would use in like Photoshop. Like the spacing of it is a lot bigger. I don't know. Am I? Let's check this. Oh, nice bunny ears again with the halo thing. I think it's supposed to be one of those a gaming character thingy. Armpit. Yeah, the elbows do get bigger as they're closer to you, right? Because it's being foreshortened, obviously. Look at how you see the painting here, the back and forth. They could have cleaned that up, but when you have like these extra strokes, I think it contributes to that blur effect when you zoom out. So you don't have to completely be super sharp with these like edges. You can sort of have or allow some of those lighter strokes to be seen. Because when you like stack them together, it looks a little blurred, or it gives off that slight blur, which is more obvious when you zoom out. Is that my spit? Sorry. And I noticed for this line work, they're coloring it brown, so it's not like a pure black. And when you have this amount of rendering, you have to tone the line work, I think, a bit. Number one, you could try changing the thickness, make it way thinner than you normally would, or you change the value, specifically the color of it as well. So you try to make it match like the skin. In this case, whenever I see these kinds of lines with this kind of level of rendering, it's going to be on the like the red or brown side or color kind of set of hues to kind of match the skin. I think this is a little more common in like comics. You know, when you have like because in comics I think they do render a lot of or most of their pages. It's not just black and white, unlike in like manga. So they will still use the line work, but it's not just going to be a pure black kind of thing. I mean, look at the face. It's so like, even the shadows here being casted by the hair, it's so freaking cool. Even this hair, like she's kind of holding her hair up a little bit, trying to pose for you. Even oh my god, look at the eyes here. You see some like spotlights it's being casted by, well, the light, right? And it's just a nice sort of touch there. Like, yeah, the face is obviously anime. It's not realistic, but it's so beautiful, right? And just very aesthetic. Now they add realism by the subtle kind of way of rendering. For example, if you look at this below the eyes, I'll use this pen, right? Below the eyes, around the nose. I mean, look at the nose. It's not even there. I mean, it's there, but it's not like sculpted. It's like, it's a simple like line, and then you have like a darker, not darker, but a more saturated area to represent the nose. But this sort of subtle shifts in values and hues a little bit. Look at how in the bottom part of the, like in the chin area, below the nose, it's a little bit blue. It's a little blue. And here it's a little red. And then as you go further up, it's kind of yellowish a little bit. From afar, it doesn't really, it's hard to maybe notice. But if you zoom in, like you will see, oh. And I think that subtle shifts here and there, I think that's what, again, that's what adds to the realism of the piece. Nice legs, nice hips. It's kind of tight though because I can even see their belly button in this view. Very cool. Again, if you look at the back or the insides of the hair, look at how it's a lot lighter, right? In this case, I think they're a blondie, so the inside it's going to be cooler, and on the outside is going to be warmer to really show off those yellows or that kind of gold nature you would see in like blonde hair, right? But even like this side of the hair, right? Look at how the shadows are a little more on the cooler side to complement the warmer sort of areas of the hair. Very cool, very cool. I mean, this is so freaking just pretty and just hot. Kawaii. Baka. Baka. Oh, we have another, in this case, again with I'm guessing azure lane, that's the only words I know. But this time, her eyes are a little more, I don't know, devious. Like, I'm not sure what she's rubbing off from her chin, but I'm guessing it ain't good. It ain't good. Oh, there's some netting here, or what do you call this? Like, it's not, they're not stockings, but they're fishnets. I think they're fishnets. But you know what? These things are drawn, by the way. Lots of effort. And yeah, when you render or paint this way, you want to have areas where it's mostly like one value. For example, this area is in light. It looks kind of flat, meaning it doesn't have too many shifts in values. Maybe you have some like highlights here and there, but it's not too like contrasty because you already have the shadows over here, right? And you will see more of the strokes in them, I think. Essentially, you want to have areas of rest. You can't have, if you can see so many strokes at the same time everywhere, I think it's gonna look or make your artwork look a little too muddy. For example, if you look at the gloves over here, like look at the amount of brush strokes you can see here. If this were like everywhere, like in the hair, in the body, in the face, I think it's too much. I think it's too much. So you have to kind of be picky. For example, even the shadows over here, you don't really see a lot of brush strokes. You do see some subtle shifts in hues, but they're very like, it's almost like they're using a soft brush or some kind of gradient tool to achieve that. And right now I'm actually seeing that thing again where you have like, I think they're using some kind of filter to add an extra layer of hue variety. It's very subtle, hard to see, but I think they're doing it again with this one. And it helps make the painting look less digital to me. Or less flat. I mean, you could use a noise texture and noise filter or something else, but I forgot how the Wacom girl did it, but like you will notice the moment she added that filter or that sort of effect technique, it did make it look a little more good. But you have to tone down the opacity because you can't make it too strong. I think you will see this even when you like take photographs. You're gonna see it in like your photos. Some like in the pixel level, you will see like these different colors in there. So I do like the eyes are so like seductive and like evil. And look at how the nose it's there, but it's not being sculpted. Very common in like anime kinds of artworks. And the mouth is like super small. I also like the way the ears are rendered. It looks very like sculpted. You can even see like the interiors of the ear over here. It doesn't have as much contrast, I think, and not as much value variation. Obviously, because it's not the main thing. Most of the contrast is gonna be like in the eyes, right? The very dark sort of lashes, and then the very light sort of pupils or something. And yeah. So I think we'll stop the episode here because I think we're at 35 minutes now. It's too long. So they have way more artwork to check out. Yeah, I will link this page in the description below. And if you have any artists that are kind of like this, maybe, or maybe if you have other artists to suggest, just write them down in the comments below. And yeah, because right there, I the only persons or people, artists I can think of is like the Duck Kong guy and the Mitsuki person, but yeah, I'm sure there's more. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Wait, I want to see this one. It's kind of cute. She's wearing like a mask or a head something design. Interesting. Let me see the. Did we explore the other one? Because I think. Yeah, I think we did see this already. So. Yep, that's it. I'll see you in the next. Let me look at those eyes. Oh, I think this one is better. Just because the eyes are closer a little bit. There you go. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.